Hearsay, hearsay, hearsay. All rise, the Circuit County Court of the City of Alexandria is now in session to resolve a disputed controversy involving 3 persons charged with a Class 1 misdemeanor of trespass or refusal to leave after being told to do so. It is a time-honored tradition passed over from the times of the lords and kings in England that a man's home is his castle. But even there, the academic realm of jurisprudential theory descending to application in the real world of power politics, as the courts of the King's Bench, jurisdiction over all matters that were related to the authority of the Crown, the courts of the Common Pleas that maintained jurisdiction over those matters between the commoners, and the ecclesiastical courts of the Chancery administered by the Lords of the Chancery, engaged in heated competition for jurisdiction over claims and defendants, and thereby giving rise to the development of what is in modern times referred to as a legal fiction around the 15th century. Asserting the power of the Crown that had jurisdiction over the criminal matters in the county of Middlesex, in one of the first legal fictions, a plaintiff would present to the King's Bench a bill of Middlesex, which would stretch the truth just a little bit to allege that the complaint involved a trespass that had occurred in the county of Middlesex, and thereby invoke the jurisdiction of the Crown. Most oftentimes, the legal fiction would be dropped from the suit after jurisdiction had been established. Perhaps that is also where the phrase "to think like a lawyer" derived its origins over a pint of room temperature lager. Accordingly, perhaps it is not coincidence that in a suburb of the nation's capital, the region that enjoys or laments the highest concentration of attorneys in the nation, and where a recent court actually ruled that a statement in perjury was protected by judicial privilege, that a case involving a controversy of national significance, but concerning only the mere crime of trespass, is approaching an impasse to decide another time-honored rule of law, which most often we refer to as hearsay. In the present matter before the bench at the Circuit County Court of the City of Alexandria, pretrial motions have been filed by the pro se defendant to narrow the scope of the dispute to be decided at trial by defining the range of facts in dispute vis-a-vis those facts that are undisputed, thereby alleviating the burden upon the trier of fact during the jury trial. But even in attempt to stipulate to agree upon certain facts, both he and the Commonwealth failed to find agreement over what should be a simple case of trespass. Inside, outside. Inside, outside. And after several rounds of emails that found the Commonwealth relenting, I do not plan to litigate this case via email. The pro se defendant asserts that he is fairly certain, solely based upon the laws of probability, that somewhere in the whole world and history of criminal trespass, that there probably exists a defendant whose case recited these very facts recited by the Commonwealth, but respectfully submitted, this is not that case. The problem arises because the Commonwealth has appeared to employ a legal fiction of their own, that its principal witnesses to events that caused the arrest of the defendants were actually present not only at the place where the crime was alleged to have occurred, but also in proximal relation so as to personally avail themselves of an unobstructed view. However, a surveillance video record captured from 4 angles fails to capture these principal witnesses in a place where they may have actually observed the alleged crime that they reported to the Alexandria police as a trespass in progress. Only one has presented a sworn official statement attesting to the truth of this impossibility in science, and only possible in a fantasized faith. And the statements of the other principal witness do not even appear in the prosecution's file, but suddenly were presented as a potential witness when scrutiny began to impeach the testimony of their star witness. As the Humphrey Bogart character described his methods in The Caine Mutiny, the pro se defendant has developed an argument to implode the arguments of the Commonwealth by application of geometric logic, with which he was able to determine with this simplified illustration suitable for Sesame Street of the waiting room area in which he was accused of protesting at an abortion mill. The dimensions of the waiting room area resemble the geometric dimensions of a square, or more accurately a rectangle. At both ends of the rectangle, all events in the waiting room are captured by intersecting fields of surveillance video. However, the principal witness for the Commonwealth, the manager of the Alexandria Women's Health Clinic, at no time during the 90 seconds in which this crime was alleged to have occurred is captured on either video camera, entering the square where he might have observed anyone performing any kind of conduct, illegal or not. Similarly, the alternative witness that the Commonwealth now presents is a receptionist who, at all known times relevant, although not captured by the surveillance video, is alleged to have been sitting behind a desk behind the receptionist window that looked into the waiting room. Now, perform a simple visual field test on yourself by locating a window and stand 10 feet behind it. As you walk forward, you will observe, no doubt, that by function of the laws of nature and science, that your view along the periphery boundaries of that obstructed view will begin to expand in direct correlation to your distance from the aperture. However, like a frame on a picture, the visual field of view for the observer through those circumscribing boundaries of that window into another world will never, ever exceed the limits of those fixed walls. Even if you were to press your nose upon the glass and try to glance from side to side, you will never exceed those limits. It's like a science, and oddly something that persons of faith are often claimed to reject by more educated and enlightened progressives. But unavailing thus far, even to the court that has refused to examine the video until the trial, the pro se defendant is prepared to present a rule of law that might be more persuasive, nonetheless, practically mirroring the federal rules of evidence in the Commonwealth. The Virginia hearsay rule states that hearsay is a statement other than one by the declarant while testifying at the trial or hearing, offered in evidence to prove the truth of the matter asserted, pursuant to Virginia Supreme Court Rule 2.801C. This language is almost cut and pasted from the federal rules of evidence. Oddly, Rule 801C, which says hearsay means a statement that the declarant does not make while testifying at the current trial or hearing, and 2. A party offers in evidence to prove the truth of the matter asserted in the statement. Simply, a person obviously cannot provide true testimony about a matter that they had never even seen, unless they possess psychic powers or can see through walls, like Superman. And this argument, impeaching testimony, oddly finds most prevalence and success in the Commonwealth in traffic-related cases, which comprised the largest incident load investigated by the nearby Arlington County Police Department in 2016, amounting to over 35,000 cases of traffic-related incidents. Well, perhaps communicating in this common language with the attorneys for the Commonwealth, a matter will find proper resolution for a crime that happened to occur at the abortion mill responsible for the second highest production in 2016 in the Commonwealth and responsible for over 13% of all of the abortions in this state that delivered their electoral college votes to Hillary Rodham Clinton, the only state to do so in an otherwise solidly Republican South. But now perhaps they must choose life. Non incautus futuri is the motto of Washington and Lee University, not unmindful of the future. My name is Major Mike Webb, and I am running for U.S. Congress. Next year, in Jerusalem, in liberty, with honor and excellence, the South shall rise again. Honest. This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.
Tell you what this is designed to do, what California is doing, and why I'm so grateful for NIFLA fighting it, ADF leading the charge legally. This is designed to shut down these care pregnancy centers. The average fine, the first fine $500, the second $1,000 a day. You can do the math. It doesn't take long on a budget of $125,000 to shut down these care pregnancy centers. And guess what's happening in these care pregnancy centers? They are opening a window to life to these mothers through technology. And guess what's happening? They're choosing life. America is becoming a predominantly pro-life country again because of these clinics.